Session 12, Delta Green, Impossible Landscapes. Yes. The recap's going to be relatively short, I think, this week. Last episode, you guys, I think it was still September 2nd, 2015. You guys were at the Dorchester house. 2 sessions ago, you left off talking to an orderly, and then the whole last session was speaking with the orderly and then meeting a new individual. So you guys were on the 3rd floor of the Dorchester house, psychiatric facility in the Boston area, investigating the disappearance of 6 Delta Green agents. You meet with Dr. Dallin and the head nurse, Esther Semagina. They kind of show you around a little bit of the facility. That is got 3 levels, high security, and then as you go down the levels of the building, the security lowers, and the less, I guess, violent or riskier patients are. And as you're doing that, you come across an orderly in the hallway that's talking to a duffel bag, and that would be Mr. Richard Bryce. You guys want to know who he's talking to in that duffel bag, and you come to find out it's a mummified child who tends to, dare I say, speak to you, whisper to you, maybe not all of you at the same time. They take Dr. Richard Bryce away in the hospital. You guys decide to, I think at some point, Maya splits.
She went with Richard to try and separate him from the mummy.
That's right. That's right. To see if there was any clearing of his head. And
exactly.
In so doing, Mantillo and Mignon walk down the hallway a little ways and run with the mummy and run into a patient that's wandering the halls by the name of Ed Myler Wist, who's on the 3rd floor. He's carrying around a journal, it appears, where he jots down notes and journals. Seems a little peculiar, but the doctor or the nurse says, hey, they're case-by-case basis. Some individuals get privilege over time.
Says we didn't really mean that this 3rd floor was all lockdown stuff. We were just pretending.
Yeah. Well, for the most part. And he is known because Maya comes back and realizes that this is the Ed Myler Wist, known as the perpetrator and the child murderer of his family, which was portrayed in the press as the poor little rich boy murders, where in California, Ed had pleaded not guilty by reason of insanity and essentially on his 16th birthday murdered his father, mother, and sister with a shotgun in 2010.
And then somehow was transferred to this facility, which is kind of incongruous with their normal.
Very strange.
Being a non-military personnel.
Yes.
For government.
So at the end of the last session, Mignon feels compelled to go to the bathroom and in the restroom.
Compelled? I had to go.
Yeah, you had to go.
Were compelled.
These RPGs sometimes
compelled.
Sometimes these RPGs just they don't get realistic enough, and I think there's times when the player character has natural functions. So,
yeah, none of us X-carded it, so I guess it happened.
Right. And so then Mignon goes to the bathroom and runs into Ed Myler Wist in the bathroom, where he leaves a note behind that states, "How did you find me? ? I thought you had left. In any case, they are still here at night." And that's where we left off. So I would imagine, Mignon, you come out of the bathroom. Maya and Mantillo are there waiting for you patiently.
Probably. Yeah, no, that seems right.
Maybe they left him there.
Well, before, so tell us where the mummy child are and where is
I think
Richard
I
right
have
now?
the mummy child at the moment.
Oh, you're
Mantillo's
carrying it.
bag.
That's right.
Yeah.
Because we were going to go downstairs. We were like getting it out of here.
Yeah, I took it
Yeah.
off
Yep.
of
Trunk of the car.
Mignon's
We
hand
never made it
because
to the elevator.
That's right. We were about to leave. That's right.
Mhm.
I exit the bathroom. Mantillo's seen me look a little strange, but I'm definitely more white and like quickly shuffling to where she is and lean in,
What
and I'm
happened?
like, he was in the bathroom.
So that's weird. I didn't see him go in.
Well, he was there,
Uh-huh.
and he gave me this.
How did you find me? I thought you had left. You think that's a period after left? I thought you had left.
I'm not looking at his penmanship.
No, because I want to know, like, I thought you had left in any case, or I thought you had left. In any case, they're still here at night.
Dude, the guy's a wacko.
Oh, everyone's a wacko.
Yeah,
I mean-
depending on the day, but like he's a 24/7 wacko.
Well, they've given him permission to walk around, but yeah, so who do you think's here at night? What do you think this is about? Did you ask him?
I was busy.
Well,
You should have went in and asked him.
all right. I'll go to the bathroom.
He's not there. He left.
What do you mean he left? You mean we didn't see him go in or come out?
I was busy.
No, me. I mean, I'm looking at Maya on this one. Like,
I don't know.
Bathroom's down around the corner, so I don't know if that matters.
Okay, so
So we didn't have like direct line of sight.
yeah,
okay.
no.
So is
Well-
the nurse still with us?
Yes, standing there wondering what is going on.
Do you, Samagina, Miss Samagina, do you, I mean, obviously you've been working with Mr. Wist for some time. Is paranoia one of his things?
Paranoia? I wouldn't really. I'm not quite sure if that's exactly his diagnosis by the doctor. And frankly, he would have more information on that. But I don't think that's one of his ailments. But
I wonder
Why?
if it's the. Do you think they is the agent? Is the missing? This is back to Maya and Mignon. Do you think they is referring to the missing patients? Because I mean, that makes total sense.
That is what I assume. Therefore, I don't think the period doesn't matter where it is.
Maya hasn't
Crazy.
seen the card yet, so she takes it.
Yeah.
She reads it. During most of this, her jaw has just been like, you could see a muscle just. She's been kind of scanning just, people coming and going, inmates who are not inmates, but patients who are either supervised or not. This whole thing seems off from when Ed just kind of strolled up the way he did, the guy with the duffel bag. So the whole facility seems freaky now. So she's trying to get an idea on like the regular comings and goings. But when she reads the card, she's just like, she shakes her head. She quietly says, we need to get his journal. He had a journal.
So the only thing I could think of from the note is the first two sentences, Mantillo, like you said, are to us. The how did you find me? And I thought you had left. I think that is like right now. In any case, they're still here at night. The thing that's strange to me is why didn't he just tell us that in the hallway? Why did he have to write a note?
Right.
And the only reason you'd write a note is because the nurse is with us. And if he is told not to say anything about it, I think that's why he had to slip me a note, albeit at a time which is very not good for slipping notes to somebody. But,
Are we
anyway.
whispering right now? Because
I mean, the nurse is standing right
No, she's
there,
right here
wondering,
now.
like, what
She's
is?
here. Yes,
I'm
ma'am.
sorry.
She's
Is there
definitely
something?
hearing all of this.
What seems to be the problem?
My
Agent,
nerves
we're
are
not
shot,
sure if
so
there's
I
a
don't even care
problem.
if she's there or not.
Agent Maya says we need a private room so we can discuss the work that we're doing here for the doctor. Can we just get one of these rooms or one on the first floor just quickly?
Sure. She takes you down just right this
Wow.
way. She takes
Did
you
you
down
just
to the,
check us into a private room in a mental institution?
That's right. Slam lock. Here are your
I have my
jackets.
sleeping bag in the trunk.
get your pajamas with you, Mignon.
I'm presuming there's like a meeting room in the administrative
Conference room or something.
central.
Yeah.
They'll bring you down to the first floor. As you came down the hallway from admissions, there's a conference room. You can pull down the blinds. There's privacy. It's got a big conference room table in it with chairs around it, probably seats, probably close to 10 people around the table.
So when we go in, what's we described this construction before as like cinder block, I think.
Yeah,
Right.
I don't know how you guys grew up in schools, but I grew up in ones that were like fallout shelter, like
Blocks.
construction.
So
Cinder block, yeah.
So Maya's going to say to the other two, she's going to say, have a regular conversation for a minute. And she ducks outside. She's going to see how soundproof this room is.
Okay.
So whether or not we can have a secure conversation in there or not.
If somebody's talking normal tone, it sounds relatively quiet. We don't hear them. There
So,
might be.
we'll talk. And
Yeah. As a matter of fact, they
Okay.
probably wouldn't hear you unless they saw you in there or you guys,
Okay.
yell out.
She comes back in. If the door locks from the inside, she'll lock it.
Okay.
Probably doesn't if it's a meeting room.
No.
Yeah.
Probably not.
All right. So Maya's like, all right, there's a lot going on here. We got some decisions to make. She points to the duffel bag. She's like, we got to deal with that. We got to deal with this guy who just gave us the card. We got to stay here tonight.
Yeah.
If we're going to potentially see these people, then remember,
So
none of this is actually an opera.
I was just going to say, like, who brought us in? Like, I don't even understand why. Somebody knows something, but who is that somebody?
I feel like it doesn't even matter who brought us in at this point. Something's going on, and we're going to have to tamp it down.
The program knows, Jerry, right? They're on it. We're going to report to them in another day or so. So we'll have their support. But for now, we got to figure out as much as we can.
Yeah.
So we have 3 floors again. Is this another 4th floor situation there, Mantillo? Is that what you're thinking?
That's what I was asking when we first got here. Yeah, but that's what I'm thinking is that there's some place, or maybe it's time instead of space. Maybe that's why they're here at night.
So
Maybe they're here between 11 and 2:30 or something. Who knows?
My only fear is that surrounding us in this building are non-allies. Might even be people that are keeping this under wraps. And
I don't even trust
here.
I don't even trust Dallin in this. Who knows?
Well, I mean, frankly, our ally the last time we were all together was not. I mean, I trust you, Mignon, more than I trust Mosby. Was that his name?
Yeah.
Was that our handler? Yeah, Mosby.
No.
More than I trusted Mosby.
Not our handler.
What's his name?
I actually
Sorry, who am I
take
thinking
that
of?
as a heartfelt compliment.
I think it is. It is. I think
Sean, who was the drunk handler
Marcus.
from
Marcus.
Yeah.
Marcus. Yeah,
The
I
original.
trust you,
The ori-
Mignon, more than I trust Marcus at this point. Again, used to your mess up.
Lupita kind of chuckles. She's like, Marcus is a train wreck. I hope you trust him more.
Exactly.
So the other guy, the recent guy was Exeter, whoever Agent Exeter is.
Exeter, yeah.
Isn't even a person,
who knows who
apparently.
Exeter is?
So Maya pulls one of these out from her jacket. She keeps field notes. Like those are her little books. So she flips through it and she's like,
You
Exeter
gonna write a
told
novel too?
No, these are just so I remember things. Exeter told us that every single one of these people who disappeared had some contact with a book or something. Right?
Yep.
So we haven't seen any sign of that. That this Ed guy, Ed Wist, he's got a journal. We need to get a hold of that journal. These are things we got to be knocking these things down. So hopefully before tonight, so we're a little better equipped when we're here. I don't even know if the doctor's going to let us stay overnight. Maybe he will, but I want to go get my gun from outside if we're going to be in here.
That's going to be tough. Maya, did this guy, and I'm pointing to the duffel bag, did this guy talk to you?
What do you mean talk?
In your head. Sounds?
Sean, if I remember correctly, Maya did hear it, but less than the other two. There was not as much back and forth, and she was a little more aggressive about it. She kind of told it to shut up, I think.
I think you were a little more like, cut this shit, and like,
yeah, exactly. So she's just like, I guess, I don't know, something, I don't know.
And you definitely had a conversation with it, right?
Me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it was lengthy.
Yeah.
Okay, and then it just shut up. You haven't heard it since it stopped talking.
I grabbed the bag, and I like, listen. You still in there?
I mean, I feel like we didn't have to be close to it even.
I know, but it's just
Right.
nothing's rationale here. So
no. That's what I'm getting at. I just want to make sure we're on the same page in terms of how messed up this all is. Okay. So you were saying you want to get the journal.
Bag. I want to make sure it's still in the bag.
Yeah.
I'm not even confident it's still in the bag.
You look
on the table, and I slowly zip it open. Do I see it in the bag?
Yeah, it's still there.
Okay, and I.
Is there anything else in that bag?
No.
You want to go rooting around in there?
You're the archaeologist.
I mean, I think that if you ask, like, is there anything else in the bag, that you are probably checking to see if there's.
I wasn't asking you. I was asking.
Oh, you're asking.
I was asking Mignon.
Oh, I guess
he had unzipped it, and I was like, "Is there anything else in that bag?"
The bag.
Well, Mignon, you asked, like, you got into like archaeology and anthropology and checking.
He's also
freaked out.
Yeah. I did, but
I say fine, and I'll go check in the bag. I will go unzip the bag all the way and like take the mummy out and look in the bag.
Yeah, there's nothing else in the bag.
All right. Okay. I'm going to turn it over. Like, I have no idea what this thing looks like, but it's just sort of like a doll wrapped up in paper, as far as I'm concerned, wrapped up in cloth.
Like, be careful with that. That is like hundreds, thousands years old.
Sure, and it talks.
And it fucking talks. Yeah, be careful with this, right? Put it down. Put it back in the bag. Close that shit up.
Looking around, look at the backside. Any markings on it? Any writing? Anything?
No.
I already looked.
No,
you wouldn't
didn't.
even know anyway.
You didn't even know if there was anything else in the bag. I'll put it back in.
Now we're back. I feel much more comfortable. Our relationship is back. Perfect.
Yeah, me too.
I mean, it probably
You're acting a little weird there.
It probably has the consistency and the density of like a pretty dense pinata. Like, I think, you know,
right?
Paper mache full of sand.
Don't give her any ideas.
Don't give her any ideas. I don't know how often Edwin. I don't know how often Edwin handles a child mummy. So you know,
Mantillo, there was no candy inside. I am sure. Not need to scan it to know. Okay.
Yeah, we should scan it though.
We should.
That's an idea.
Actually, there probably is a CT scanner here somewhere. This is a hospital.
Oh, you think there's a medical? It's not a. It's.
You think they ship any of these patients out when they get hurt or sick? There's no way.
That's true. They must have a full med bay here.
Sick bay and a whole thing here.
Yeah. How are we going to get your gun in here?
Well, before we go there, Edwin,
your gun's just downstairs, right?
Yeah, it is.
All right, we'll figure that out. Because mine's out in the car.
I'm forgetting, guys. What were we going to send away to the lab or go to like the Boston?
It's the
college
bugs and the sand and the.
That's right, from the phone. So if they don't have facilities here for various CAT scans and like magnetic resonance and all that kind of stuff, we could potentially go to the university and do all that shit there. But Maya sits back and she's like, I was going to give the thing to we need to put it in a green box somewhere and let the program take care of that. But maybe that's not the best idea. I don't know.
I mean,
here's another idea.
Yeah.
We give this thing back to Richard Bryce and see what he does with it.
Here's a weird question. What if Richard was talking to us?
You mean like on ventriloquism or something?
Yeah, sure. I didn't hear it in my ears, though. I'll tell you that.
Did you hear it when I walked him to the other rooms that the agents were in?
Well, that's about when the mummy stopped talking to us.
I think it stopped talking because you came over and you were very flippant and not taking it seriously, because it was talking to me fine.
I think if you had a ventriloquist in the room, you would be able to tell where the voice is coming from.
Well, I was thinking a psychic. I was thinking some sort of mind stuff going on here. Not like, yeah, it was definitely talking in my head.
I was going to say that's not a
psychic
ventriloquism.
Yeah, no,
it's not a psychic.
It's actually better.
Whatever telepathy is, like the reverse psychic. Yeah, I don't know. Like I heard it in my head.
That is telepathy.
Yeah. Right. So why is it any weirder to think that Bryson was talking to us than to think that this mummy was talking to us?
It's
right?
not.
Did you see him? And he was controlled by this thing. He was like a slave.
Whether he was controlled or not, he definitely had a yearning for it. Like
he thought he had his gym stuff in his bag.
Yeah, that's true. But what if something that's what I'm thinking though. What if something took over his brain and was somehow using? I don't know. I mean, a mummy is what? What's in a mummy? Like formaldehyde and bones?
Usually like
we look at the
dried skins.
Like usually not even formaldehyde, like some other kind of embalming
chemical, right?
That they used back then, and it was
like there's no brain there.
It's a mummy. Like
right.
There's nothing. There's
no nothing.
Circulatory system. Nothing. It's a mummy.
That's what I'm getting at. Like if there's something talking to us, it's not the mummy. I mean, maybe there's like a bug in the mummy, or maybe there's some bug in Bryson's head.
You're not cutting the mummy open. You're not.
You mean like a bug that was in the phone?
I grabbed the bag.
Yeah, like some kind of there's
scratches at her ear, just like
I grabbed the bag.
Sure. Yeah, I don't want to cut it. I mean,
okay.
Yeah.
Regardless of all of these ideas.
Yeah. What?
We don't know the answer to any of this.
Nothing. We got nothing.
So we can keep talking, but we have no idea. We have to. And I look to Maya, because she's all about facts.
Yep.
Right. We got to find something. Like there's nothing. There's no shred of anything.
So Maya's like, we need to find the book that they were all connected to. We need to get we need to get Ed's journal and read it.
I think the book, and maybe, I mean, I don't even know if we even care to CT scan this thing, but I think at least the book gives us direction. Like we have to find this book. I don't know if it's his journal. I don't even know if it's his journal though.
What if this is a radio wrapped up? I mean, we have no idea what this is, right? It looks like a mummy. It could be anything.
We need to get it looked at by medical practitioners. I agree.
Well, there's something we can actually do.
But but we haven't. There's all kinds of things we can do. We haven't checked like the libraries. There may be a library on each floor for the inmates, so the book might be there. It might just be on the shelves.
Did we even technically check every room?
No,
all 6.
For a hidden book. Yeah. Like under the mattress or stuff.
No, we need to go to every room.
All right.
But we also need to figure out what to do with that thing. She points at the mummy.
I got it.
We just carry it?
It's not. I got it.
Okay.
What's going to happen?
And then we agreed we're going to stay here. We're going to stay here tonight.
I'm going to write that down.
I guess so. Yeah. No. With this note, I think we got to stay here tonight.
We got to get that cleared with the doctor.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll have the same conversation with him.
We can have some pull with this. I mean,
the doctor wants us here to figure this stuff out. So, and he's an ally, at least, or at least a friendly. Like he knows there's a possibility of weird stuff going on.
Maybe.
What if Ed is not the most dangerous person that walks around here?
How could he be?
That scares the crap out of me.
You know who the most dangerous person who walks around here is? Me.
I hope that's true.
Maybe Maya.
We also weren't we going to check Richard's? Maybe Maya. Richard's locker. Definitely Maya. Richard had a locker. Remember, he said he stashed his gym stuff, and that's where he got so he may have picked the mummy up there. You know what? We need to go like to the basement, to the 6 rooms, to the libraries. We need to just hit the.
Let's start doing it.
We're shaking
Yes.
this place down.
We need to.
Let's do it. Let's start with the. Have we seen any libraries or common rooms with books?
We haven't really seen anything. We
The
were
first floor
an
must have.
office,
No, we had a huge
a
tour.
bathroom.
No,
There's
we
a
had
bathroom.
we had a huge tour of the whole of like we went all
Yeah.
over the place. We just kind of had it.
There's
But there's no like
definitely a
common room
changing
with books
locker room, probably a men's and a woman's for the orderlies.
on the different wing. Oh, the locker rooms for the right, in the
Yeah.
middle.
Let's just
All right.
ask. Let's just ask Dr. Dallin if the patients have access to a library or something.
Hey, can we
Right.
can we each have one desire and then we figure out what order we're going to do? I would love to
One
check
desire,
off
Jerry. You're not writing a story here. What do you want to do? One desire. What's our action? What are we going to do?
I'm an all. You guys are bang bang. I'm
Put it out.
10. I would like to know and check off the list that we have searched all of the rooms.
Done.
Let's do it.
That's it. We're here. We're up here. Let's just get that
Yeah, let's do
over
it.
with. I'm
Nurse.
tired of we don't know.
I opened the door
Mhm.
out of the conference room.
Yeah.
So we don't have keys to the rooms, right?
Semagina comes down and says, "Oh, yes."
We cast summon
We're
GM.
Samagina. We're gonna start by looking at each of the 6 rooms.
Of course.
See if
We already looked
anything's
at
left behind.
2, I think.
1 or 2, I think. Yeah.
Yeah. So of course I can show you. Absolutely.
And there still
Excellent.
aren't new people in those rooms, right?
No. We have
They're all
not.
empty.
We have
Okay.
not had anybody occupying them since. No.
Okay.
Okay. This way, they're all on the 3rd floor. So if you just want to follow me,
Who do you think
Quick
the most
question while we're walking
most
there,
dangerous person
Samagina.
walking around here is?
Yeah. We're taking a poll. We're taking.
Mine doesn't have a gun, so it's not mine.
No, that's not the question we're asking, Mantillo. The question is:
Oh.
does other than Ed, our buddy Ed, is anyone else free to walk around up here on the 3rd floor?
well, I mean, during the day, it's not. It's folks aren't always constrained.
Samagina, it's a yes or no question.
But it's a case by
Does
case.
anyone else walk around or no?
On occasion, there is. We can't keep people up, locked in cells all day. This isn't that type of facility. If that were the case, would they
That's
be in
what the
prison?
3rd floor was for.
It's a restricted, closed-off area, and for
So who do you
certainly
got down the hall?
dangerous.
Slayer Sam killed 57.
She
and
gets
walks
like
around
all
with-
like, whoa, what's? I'm
Jerry,
sorry,
I bet.
she's like,
Yeah.
I'm
sorry.
I'm sorry. What?
I'm sorry. I
Like
got
she's
scared.
taken
I was in the
aback and
bathroom.
like starts kind of
I
shaking.
I apologize. I truly apologize. I get a little jumpy, and like Ed tapped me on the shoulder from behind in the bathroom, and I'm not like. I'm sorry. I apologize.
Oh, okay. And she's trying to gain her composure after
Hey, Lupita says, take a minute.
being like,
Sorry about his outburst. Jerry, can you come here for a minute? She pulls Jerry aside. Quietly whispers. No, she just says, we're in a fucking mental hospital. You think there are some dangerous people in here? They're
Yeah.
all dangerous,
And
Jerry.
I'm afraid it's
All
rubbing
of
off
them.
on me. This is the
All
problem.
right, calm down. There's something you can do while we search these rooms. Get yourself a card. You need to write Ed back a note. They can slip
What?
to him. Yes.
Since
You
when? I
write
don't
him
remember
back
that.
a note so that it just occurred to me. He wants to communicate with you, but he wants to do it like
You want
secretly.
me to be the friend of?
You're the writer. We need to find out more what he knows and influence him to get his journal or to find out somehow what he knows. He knows something. He's our best
Five
lead.
Dead Ed. I gotta be his pen pal. What the hell?
I'll have
I
your
think it's a
back.
good idea.
I got your back.
Like, of course you do.
All right, let's check these rooms, but you be thinking about what you're going to put on this card. All right, that's your job, Jerry. It's your one job.
Fine, at least I'm occupied.
Exactly.
So we can do that while we do the remaining 4 rooms. That works.
okay. So she looks rather nervous and says, okay, right this way then.
Right?
I wish we could comfort her, Sean, but we can't.
Yeah, I think
We're carrying a mummified child. It's not happening.
Just like, okay.
She's nervous. She's going to be nervous.
So
Yeah.
she takes you up to the third floor.
Okay.
And she, on the way, she actually kind of says, well, I'll point out a few things. And she says, here, and she goes, just this way, it's on the way. So we'll go down this way and I'll show you the cafeteria. And then she kind of goes towards, down a hallway and what appears to be what would have been probably by your observation, could have been at one time a school gymnasium. So it's a large room. It's on the ground floor. So you guys haven't gone anywhere from the administration wing. And she says all the patients, but the third floor, eat breakfast at 9 a.m. and then lunch at noon and then dinner at 5 p.m. And then she goes, of course, for security reasons, third floor patients eat under observation on the third floor. And then there are small staff attendants, work in the cafeteria, cooking, maintaining and serving meals. Then they're occasionally assisted by trusted patients from the first floor. Again, this goes to, rehabilitation, treatment, progress. You might have heard the doctor mention, and the third floor is obviously the most secure and restrictive, but we do have to kind of when we see progress, there's privileges that are able to be extended, and then of course as we feel that they're safe, safety to themselves and safety to others, then we kind of move them from the third floor to the second, and then subsequently down to the first floor. So, we have even some individual patients from the first floor that helps with cafeteria duties. And then the meals, of course, are relatively common, and we serve them on paper plates and plastic utensils. One reason is staffing, and another reason is just budget and of course, safety as well. So, and you can, there's the cafeteria.
John, is the gymnasium cum cafeteria lunchroom, is that in the middle administration building so it serves both wings?
Yeah.
So
yeah.
They kind of come in male and female from the sides?
Yeah, so that it's an E building, so it'd probably be on the long part of the E, right?
Gotcha.
Yeah. And so she goes, kind of looks at you for approval as you look around the walls and the ceiling and
Maya says, do the patients have access to any libraries here for those who have the privileges to, check out books, magazines, anything like that?
No, I mean, it depends again on the individual and the floor. There are some restriction, obviously, on the third floor, but first floor, if there's individuals that come to the facility with care packages and things of that nature, we of course want to, go through those. But if we find something like if there's a piece of literature or a book that somebody's bringing in for a patient and they're allowed to have that and receive it, then that's not a problem. Understood.
So there may be some of the patients on the first floor, for example, probably have libraries themselves of care packages that have been brought to them.
Yes. And she says on the first floor, rooms are a little bit bigger, and a little less personalized, but feel more like hotel rooms here. And she kind of walks down and she's like, let's see. I don't think, she kind of knocks on the door and she doesn't hear anything. And so she opens it up and you could see what appears to be what she conveys, a bigger, less personalized room on the first floor, and looks like a hotel room. It's kind of like a barracks room, I guess. There's a locker type of armoire where they can, hang their clothes, and there's a little dresser and a little desk, but very all wood, nothing too fancy. carpeting. And so she goes, so this is what a typical room on the first floor looks like. And then, of course, on the second floor, which I'm more than happy to show you, the rooms are much more personally decorated. Almost like what would be a teenager's bedroom. They're allowed to put up posters and photos, and if they maybe play a musical instrument, that's something that we're certainly flexible with, depending on what the instrument is, of course. But a little bit more almost college dormitory look and feel, I guess, and aesthetic. And so she keeps walking, and as you do, she points out, she says, there are some small closet and enclosures with like a single seat nurse station secured by a steel door. And she says, these are some of our nurses' stations. They are in certain areas of the facility. Each one is shielded lock and opened with a nurse's key card specifically. And then, of course, the door is a large ballistic glass window that overlooks the hall with a small drop slide and tray to dispense small items such as medicine. And then inside each...
So the whole, like a security door almost, right?
Yes, that's correct.
So Maya's like, this is where the medication's all kept?
The medication isn't necessarily kept here. There's a medical room of
Pharmacy?
Thank you. Yes, a pharmacy. She looks at Jerry like, yes, a pharmacy.
Offer game.
Yes. And so there are basic pharmaceuticals that are stored in the nurse's station, but some of the stronger, more potent that are heavily regulated. Of course, there's, a check-in, check-out, so we can keep control on those items and inventory. So with the, and then she looks at Jerry again. In each one, there's a closet, is a password-locked computer and a small desk, as you can see. And then there's a wall of locked security drawers, which can be opened by nurse and or orderly keys that contain the pharmaceuticals, as I had mentioned. So many of these overlook security doors that can be buzzed open from inside the closet and shut again with a press of a button. And then these doors can also be opened by a security card, of course. And then there's 26 of these stations throughout the building. And when an alarm is triggered, these doors shut and lock.
Maya's gears are turning. She's in like full on like federal marshal investigator mode.
Yeah.
Trying to find a trail. She says, I have two questions, and thank you for this part of the tour. Mm-hmm. This is helpful for us to all understand how the facility works. Is the facility a full hospital? You have X-ray machines, MRIs?
Oh, no. We don't have the capacity to do that. That's very expensive, and we don't have the medical staff to even do that. So if somebody were to get injured, we would have to take them off site.
Understood. All right. So for the 6 individuals in question who are missing,
yes.
They were all on the 2 different third floors, right?
Yes, that's right.
Men.
Mm-hmm.
And we've checked 2 of the rooms. We're going to check the rest. But we have not found like personal items, I don't think, in the first 2. Did they have rooms on the second floor too?
No.
Like they would come back to when they were reintegrated back into the population? No?
No, not at this point. They were still all on the 3rd floor. They were all
they had no possessions that were locked in like a lockbox. She points through the nurse's station to those little locked cabinets. She's like, you don't have like the equivalent of like when they get moved upstairs, you take their possessions and keep them somewhere?
In the beginning, through in processing and through that process, we, depending on the nature of how they arrive at our facility, would be dependent upon how we store their personal items. Typically, if we know their background, and we know that they're going to be up on the third floor, then we typically encourage, family members and close friends, next of kin, things of that nature, to withhold some of those personal items rather than have a store, because we would love nothing more to have them bring a bunch of things with them and we put it in a storage locker. We just don't have the capacity to do that. And sometimes some folks take it to be, they get a little overzealous, if you will, and they end up thinking they're moving into a college dorm for a year of school. And all of a sudden we have all of these things in which the patient is not privy to actually have. So as things are transitioned, or there's talks of alleviating some of those restricted privileges, we can reach out to those points of contact and let them know that, hey, the restrictions that were formerly in place, they're allowed X and Y, and then they can bring those in to the patient when they visit, or if they want to send a package, we're able to facilitate that. So
Maya gives her which lets her know that she's tired of this explanation. She kind of cuts her off, and then says, "Is there any way that we could have you, when we're done the tour, you just to make double sure that one of these 6 people didn't have what you're describing, like a small bundle, that was held somewhere? Just let's double check to make sure there are no possessions anywhere.
Of
it
course,
might be important.
And we're only human, and there. See, I think, how do I put this to you, Agent? I think it's very. How do I put this? She kind of looks and she's trying to find the right words and kind of put it in a delicate manner. She says, I think what people mistaken when they first arrive at Dorchester House and they're not a patient, or they're not a mental health industry worker or a physician of some kind, and they see the restrictions and the obviously our nurses' stations are very heavily guarded and things of that nature, is I think they automatically, and especially, I mean no offense at this, but I think with people from law enforcement, they are used to a different type of facility. And with those facilities, as you know, the patient type might have some similar ailments, if you will, but they are in how do I put it, in the prison population, or the federal penitentiary, state penitentiary system. It's a much different facility. Their purpose is quite a bit different. And I think that when folks come into our facility and they look at it and they say, well, what is going on here? I think they're coming from that space, if you will. And that's not that's not good or bad. It's just we're different. And I think that's just understanding how, mental health plays a role with safety and treatment of folks that have had, PTSD and things of that nature. So it may seem a little unorthodox, or maybe a little more less consistent than maybe if you were in a maximum security prison, for example, and the overall population is handled in one way all the time, the same way, no matter what. It's a little different when dealing with mental health here. And
yeah, so Eddie gets to walk around. We get it.
Yeah. I feel I apologize if I'm overstating. I felt that there might be some confusion there.
That clears it up. We appreciate it. Let's continue the tour, and let's end up at those 4 rooms we haven't seen.
Of course. And I should go on. And so she starts walking again, and as she does, she's kind of talking as well. And she's now on the 3rd floor, and we'll get there. The rooms are a little bit more sparse than I mentioned on the 1st and 2nd. Typically, typical items are a blanket, sheet, pillow, slippers, clothing, and then there are bed restraints that we use on the 3rd floor. So we'll see. I'll show you. And she keeps going. So sure enough, you get to the 3rd floor, walk up the stairs, take the elevator. And when she takes you to one room, is there a specific room you want to see first?
Yeah, we want to see the 4 rooms that the folks were in.
I understand that, Agent. Is there a specific room you would like to see, or
Which
does it
one's
matter?
closest? The first one.
Okay.
This one, right? The first one.
Okay.
First one, closest one.
How?
I just wouldn't want
How.
to take you to a room and then you wonder why I haven't taken you to a specific room. So
How about that?
How? Okay.
Out of character for a second, I think we've been to Alvin's and Ray's. Is that right?
I think so.
I think that's right. All right.
Elvin
Yeah.
and Billabas.
Yep. Yeah. Zombie and Billabass, I think we've seen.
Okay.
We're going to go to T How now.
Okay.
Or to interrupt you, Sean.
No, that's fine. So very sparse, like not a lot to view in this room, and there's not a lot of things of interest that comes, that stands out to you. Let's see.
There's no floorboards to look under. There's no.
No, it's
Gotcha.
all.
So
No,
It's like
really
heavy. I mean, it's
mattress and-
concrete flooring with tile over it.
we're
and
gonna Greyhawk each
cinder
of these
blocks.
rooms, just so you know.
Yeah, sure.
So we're gonna Greyhawk every one of them.
The windows are
Does that mean you roll a d6, and if we get a 1 or a 2, we find something?
like you?
It means
No,
we check
you
under every
describe
bed,
it
we look
all.
under every tile. We are
Painfully describe it. Here, Edwin, watch. Maya walks over to the toilet, looks at it. She takes the lid off and looks in the tank to make sure there's nothing in the tank.
there you go.
That's great hawking it.
That is Greyhawk in it.
Yeah.
It's like,
I flip the mattress, I slice it.
actually, they're,
But it's a
they're,
mimic.
all the,
they're
all the
not.
stuff.
They
all
don't
of it.
have tanks.
They
Right.
usually
So-
don't. Usually it's
Well,
inside the wall. Yeah,
It's right,
There's
right
not a
straight
toilet in
into
the room, is there?
Straight into the wall.
and they're usually stainless steel.
I don't know. Does it
This-
matter if
this
there's
vintage?
a toilet in the room?
I don't know.
What a minute.
I mean, there was the bathroom
Well-
that Ed went to down the
Well,
hall on the
you
third
know,
floor. So.
I mean, if a visitor or a staff member has to go to the bathroom, they're not
Right.
going to bust in somebody's room to use
That's
it.
true.
Yeah, true. All right, so
So anyway,
We check the
we
room,
searched the room.
and we move on if there's nothing to find.
Okay, so that's one room. You go to the next one. Whatever, which one? So T-How,
Lila Mac.
Lamac.
So that's the other building. So we'd probably go to see Thom.
Oh, wait,
first.
see how
Stick to the guys' rooms first.
Thomas
and then,
Puthoff.
That was Puthoff.
Yep.
Or I'm sorry, Tommen.
Common.
Yeah,
Puthoff.
same thing. Like very little personal possessions. Very like you are surprised at the complete and utter mundaneness of these rooms. There's nothing.
But and then there's not even a slipper left in any of these.
Mhm.
Like it's just everything
That's
is
what
gone.
Blue, that's what I was talking about. Like, where are
Yeah.
their personal possessions?
Just their
They must, like,
So like the pillow and the blanket is there. Like that's it.
and the pillow, blanket, slippers are probably there. They're probably on the bed.
Like toothbrush, like all that stuff is just sitting there.
The toothbrush is there. The toothbrush is
Okay.
over there. The toothbrush is
Okay,
over
yeah,
here
I got it,
in
yeah.
one room.
Yeah, we're
In
just looking
another
for
room,
what
the slippers are under the bed. The slippers are under the desk.
All right.
The slippers are on the other
there's a
side of the
desk.
bed. Like a desk built into
Yeah.
like
but we don't find a
wall.
book. That's really the important piece. Yeah.
Yes.
You
We
don't
don't find a book.
you
or anything.
you are much like the players, very like there's nothing here. There's
Yeah.
it's very
and
simplistic.
in one room only,
Yeah.
we did find the collage on the
You
wall.
did
right?
find the
Right.
collage in one of them, yes.
One
of
room.
course.
Okay.
Yes. Yep.
All right.
Yeah.
Then
absolutely.
we can move pretty quickly. If we're, come in and we
Yeah. So and if the women's rooms are the same,
They
Right.
are. They are all the
Okay.
same.
okay. Yeah, we can skip that then.
The slippers are in one spot. Like there is nothing that goes.
It's all about
well,
the slippers.
This is weird. Like this is strange. Like there's
Should have said it.
a book here.
It's because one of them,
No.
they had the slippers, the left foot was
Yes,
on the right
right.
side and vice versa.
Why does this
Two
room
left
have two
slippers.
left? Yeah,
Two
yeah.
left slippers.
Yeah.
One of them was upside
That's it.
down.
Clothing.
Spend
Slippers
another
were upside
hour.
down.
This one
We're
has
looking for the person
clothing.
with 2 left feet.
This one
Where are
has
they?
less clothing. This one has clothing in a bundle. This one has it
Okay.
hanging up in the
All right.
closet.
All
Like,
right.
You know
You
what we're
can
looking
say
for.
nothing.
You know what we're
I'm fine with that as
Yeah.
a player. I'm
Yeah.
fine with
Yeah.
just like
Yeah.
you don't find anything.
Yeah, they're
Yes.
they're
Yeah.
really
You can just
Exactly.
Yeah.
And so here's a less boring angle. When we're walking
yes.
past Ed's room and we ask her where Ed is,
Hmm.
Lupita's like elbowing Jerry, like, put the fucking card under the door. And she also, before you hand it over, Lou, she says, make sure you ask him about the book.
didn't write that on here. You didn't tell me what to write.
So there's a moment of just like, because we're having to be
Hold
quiet
on, there's a
outside the door.
backside to this. There's
Well,
a
and the nurse
backside
is
to this
standing there
part.
like wondering what like you guys are just
No,
talking.
that's-
all
we
the
let
time.
her
Oh,
get
I
Ed
see.
that can't hear.
We let her get a little bit ahead.
Oh,
and
okay.
then-
I got you. Okay.
and fall back. But however, when she probably will notice Sean when he's writing now,
Yeah.
Lupita will, move forward and say, "We're coming. We just had to talk about something."
Got it. Of course.
Taking some notes.
As he's now.
The nurse is like talking to Mantillo, obviously being distracted, and you're coming down the hallway.
All right.
Mignon's
So,
got a
the
big
call-
8.5 by 11 sheet of paper,
No, I have a call.
Sharpie marker, silly smiley face on it.
Spray paint.
Yeah.
No, this is good.
Roll
So-
of duct tape, in his teeth. And
It says,
Dear Ed.
Here's
It says,
Eddie.
"Dear Eddie, strike
Scratched
through
out.
Ed." That was a little too flippant.
Too
So I
familiar.
went with
Too
Ed.
familiar.
Thanks for the note. It was nice, strike through. Interesting meeting you today. Is there anywhere we can talk without the staff being aware? Your friend, strike through, buddy, Jerry.
Hmm.
And
Nothing
then
but
on the
the book?
back,
Okay. Thank
and on the back, it says, "Oh yeah, what do you know about the book?"
okay.
Yes.
It's very,
Yes,
very good. I would now,
I thought
Ed-
I did good.
as a game master in providing handouts, now I would only expect you to take a snapshot of that and provide that handout
Put it in the foundry.
to the
I'll do
game
it right now.
master. Yeah.
It's done. All right.
Absolutely.
I know that
Email
was-
it.
Actually, I think you should go down to the post office right now.
Get
We'll wait.
an actual postmark and dog-eared. Do it. Love it, Lou.
Can you
That
put
was-
some water damage on
classy,
that
buddy.
the
thing
Delta
too?
green symbol on there, please.
Right.
So he must have found an old piece of paper. See, what confused me about the note in the bathroom is that that's an old piece of paper that has a thumbtack hole in it and water damage. And so I felt it was an old note, but which was weird to be writing an old note. So it must be an old piece of paper that he wrote on to make the note. Like he found this faded out, like somebody hung up a blank piece of paper somewhere.
It could be saliva. It could be a sweat. I
There's
don't
a
even know.
thumbtack. It's been thumbtacked to a bulletin board, and there's no thumbtacks on the third floor because this is the high security wing.
Dude, it's like the slippers.
Well, what's
I'm telling
aggravating
you.
is that sometimes the details on the handouts like really matter, and sometimes it's just like
Right.
I think the boys at Arc Dream were like, "Let's make it a Post-it with a thumbtack
Exactly.
hole."
An old crusty Post-it.
I don't think it's
Yeah.
a Post-it. When I was a kid, we had this box that had paper just like that by the telephone where you wrote notes, but there was no sticky. And the reason I don't think it's a Post-it is because of that thumbtack hole. I think it's just a piece of paper. I think it's that sort of.
You had to
It's
have
not quite.
you had to have cork boards because sticky notes weren't invented yet.
It's like thin construction paper. It's got that sort of rough consistency. It's kind of crappy paper. When it gets wet, the dye bleeds. I know this stuff, man.
Which one is it? Like, what folder is it in? I want to see it.
Oh, I don't know. I copied it into my into my
Okay.
Google Notes. I can send
Very
you.
nice.
I can share the link of the thing with you.
All good.
Where-
So, Sean,
where
is
the
it fair to say we've seen enough of the facility and the rooms?
So
Feel confident that
at,
Go on.
at as you before you get to the woman's wing, there
okay.
is the security room and the server room that is on the third floor. That would be like
in the middle.
in the middle that joins the
middle wing.
the
Yep,
two two wings. Yep. So it's the center wing of the third floor is connected. There's a clean server room and a 2-seat security station with 16 screens, a computer console, and controls for facility fire suppression systems, locks, and cameras. And the nurse is like, they do a lot of security in there. There's a lot of security equipment and, ties into the fire system and things of that nature. And there's cameras and some of the video footage that comes from those feeds end up here. And I should say, as kind of a standard procedure, As far as I'm aware, they're stored for 4 weeks before we delete those. I don't think that's changed. I think that's still pretty standard.
And I feel like we have not looked at the footage, but the doctor confirmed that there's nothing interesting on the footage in terms of the escape.
Of the escape.
Right.
What about before anyone reading a book?
Correct. We need to.
You want to watch 4 weeks of video footage to see if anyone reads a book in the hallway somewhere?
It's the reason why there's a 10x button.
No, they're not in the rooms, the cameras. We already confirmed that. They're in the halls.
Yeah, but if we see Maya, help me out on this one.
We'd probably see somebody carrying it, maybe. It's a long shot, Jerry, but it might
we don't
be
know
worth
if it's a
it.
book. If it's a book, we have no idea.
So,
Wow.
I'm sorry. What's the nurse's name? Guys?
What else are we going to do
Samajina.
while we stay here all night?
MGM.
We could watch them all while we stay here.
So
We could project them on the wall.
Hang on, Jerry.
Sorry.
Nurse Samajina. One thing that we're looking for is a book, and we don't know what it looks like. We don't know what it's titled, but we've been told there's some potential connection between. Guys, I hope there's no harm in telling her this. Some potential connection between each of the patients. So that's why we're asking about a library, about personal possessions, and now that's why Jerry's thinking maybe we check the tapes. So if you or the other staff members, have you seen probably, the same book? I'll say that, but not like maybe I don't know if it's hardcover or softcover or what. I don't know. We haven't seen it.
So no, you're not sure what it looks like. You're not sure if there's a title, and you don't know who might have possessed it.
Well, there's people who are missing, so all of them would have had the same book.
Interesting. I didn't notice anything. I don't.
Okay.
I mean, so she's like, I wonder. Somebody brought in the same book. Like, I don't know. Sometimes you get
or was loaning it, right?
Christian groups that might come in and bring Bibles. We don't see that, and we don't usually allow those to come into the facility and unrequested or unsolicited. Would it be something like that?
Could be, sure.
Possible.
Okay. I don't recall. But if the patient has a certain really around religious the religion practice and things of that nature. So if they wanted a Bible or Quran, and we would want to be able to provide that to them if at all possible, as long as it doesn't pose a danger, which sometimes books aren't, but you'd be surprised.
No, I understand. So guys, out of character, think back for a minute. One of us check patient files in Dallon's office at one point. Remember that?
I think we were
to
talking about grabbing them.
Okay,
he did not. He was not willing to let us take the files. Right.
We were going to try to extricate them on our way out.
That's another place we could potentially find some reference to the book. Right, it was in the interviews with him.
If we sleep over.
Why do you have to put it that way? If we sleep over,
sneaking around.
All right. So I think security footage is a good idea if we have time. Let's keep going for now.
Yeah, and Samajina, as she goes by the security room, there is an orderly in the room, and she's like, if you need any information, Michael probably knows a little bit more about the process and procedure. And he was on duty the evening that they had disappeared. And she's like, she kind of Michael, she says.
Oh, Michael.
Yes, I'm sorry. Yes, Michael.
Did I stutter?
I thought it was like Mike O last initial.
No, Michael. It's Michael, Mike. Yep, we call
him. Yes, I got it.
Yes. And she looks at Agent Maya like, is he always like this?
He needs fresh air.
Maya's just like, oh yeah.
Okay, and then she smiles at him.
Yeah. That's the right way to handle it.
Yes, weird, awkward, uncomfortable smile. So,
yeah.
And as she walks by,
she must be really good at that.
She waves at Michael.
You would think.
Professional training.
Mantillo, what do you think? I think we should talk to Michael.
I agree.
Yes. go into that security room.
You
Sean,
want
I
to
guess
go
we
in
have
the
to pass.
security room?
We have to pass through it anyway, don't we? But we want to talk to Michael.
Kind of go. I think it's more like there's probably a walk hallway and there's like a room into the security place, right?
Okay.
So Michael's there, and you see him.
Hey,
Look at that.
Mike D.
Oops. Yeah.
like a younger version of a guy on my BI team. Michael Devon.
Let's see. Here we go. That's not working the way I want it to. Okay, well, weird. Okay. So yes, he's in there and he's sitting at a chair and he looks up and Semigina introduces you and says, Michael, this is Agent Maya, and Agent Mantillo, and Mr. Gladstone. They are looking into the disappearances of the 6 patients from the other evening. And he was like, oh, I see. And she's like, yeah, they're from the FBI. He's like, hello.
Hey, Michael.
I imagine that you're probably interested in some of the surveillance footage, I'm guessing.
Maybe you were on duty that night.
I was. Yeah. Strange.
I assume you've gone back over all the footage, right?
I have. I've gone through it. We've got it archived. More than happy to have you review that. You're going to probably be pretty disappointed. I wasn't able to find anything. There was no footage of anybody that had left the facility, and there was no, going down the hallways of each patient. There was no sign of them at any given time.
When you see the door open,
none of them left their room.
They had never left their room. No.
and you have all this room. You have all the little lights. I assume there's a row of lights or whatever that show which doors are unlocked or open or something like that. Like they can, in terms of monitoring the bedrooms, there must be I think you said there was a door monitoring system. So I'm sort of picturing something like, picturing like rows of like lights with a room number and a little green light, a little red light. I don't know.
This is like a school turned into a thing. They may not have that.
There's a lot of tech here.
People not present. Yeah.
Right. So
can you tell us anything about? Go ahead, Mantillo.
You watch what do you normally watch like during the day when you're just working?
Well, typically it's the flipping through the video screens to see. I mean, if you've done any work within even loss prevention in grocery stores, picking up an individual down a particular aisle, watching them go onto the different screen and go onto the next camera, just tracking their activity to make sure there's no.
He's telling us how to use a closed circuit camera system, guys.
Pretty much.
So you've got cameras in the halls, nothing in the bedrooms, nothing in the bathrooms. You have cameras in the bathrooms?
The bathrooms? No.
So Mike.
So there's people that wander around the halls and then patients, and then they go into the bathroom and they're off camera.
The patient being unescorted is usually a rarity, but it happens. It depends.
A rarity like every day, like this Ed guy who's around the halls all the time without an escort.
Yeah, Ed's been with us for a little while, and he's gotten that privilege. As far as I know, that's something that is usually.
So what do you mean by a rarity? I'm just trying to get some idea of numbers here. Like a rarity, like once a month, like every 2 hours, like.
Well, it depends on the patient.
No, I'm talking about the hallway. Like, how often do you see somebody walking down the hallway unescorted?
Oh, that's
on the 3rd floor.
Yeah, unless they have privilege. Like if it's Ed, it's pretty easy to track.
Okay, so the 6 in question did not have privilege, is what you're telling us.
No.
They were confined to their rooms.
or they were escorted where they needed to go.
Do
Okay.
you know what each of these individuals look like?
Yes, of course.
Do you remember ever seeing them together?
I probably during the cafeteria hours, maybe, but I don't remember anything that stood out. I mean,
I
They would have
suppose we
been
could watch
escorted to
mealtime footage.
cafeteria.
I'm sorry. He looks at all three of you like, who
So
is
they would have been escorted to the cafeteria. At
Oh,
that,
of course, yes. hmm
We
Everybody's
we
got to eat.
We could watch some cafeteria. The cafeteria is on camera.
The cafeteria,
Yeah,
of
Mike-
course, yes.
Is there
Michael-
common rooms where they sit around and talk to each other? Or group
Apparently, these
therapy
six
rooms?
would not.
Third floor, not as much. Second floor is a little bit more.
I'm not saying
loose,
as
yeah.
much. Does it happen? Yes or no?
He looks at the nurse. He's like, on occasion, like,
Okay. So there's a chance that there's some footage of these people sitting in a room talking to each other.
I would imagine as long as they've been here, there's probably 1 or 2 minutes somewhere of them being together at some point, but I don't know what that looks like.
Okay.
You're welcome to pour through
Yeah, I'm afraid we're gonna have to.
some of the.
All right.
Yeah, we're
Do you
trying
have
to
something
find
you wanted to
story
ask her?
time. Wherever they would have story time and they all read a book together.
I mean,
Exactly.
he's like he's looking up at the ceiling. He's like, let's see, 4 weeks, let's see.
Yeah, I can do the math.
24
I can do the math.
days.
You don't need to do it for me. I understand
It's a
what
lot
we're in
of
for.
time.
This is our job.
It's a lot of time, Agent.
Yes,
What
I
was
understand
Michael
that. You
doing?
have not helped make it less, but thank you.
What was Michael doing when we came in? Did he look busy? Was he like on his phone? What was he doing?
He looked like he's looking at monitors. He wasn't like,
Okay. He's doing his job, but
yeah, he wasn't sleeping
So-
or doing
so
a
then-
crossword puzzle.
Maya won't mind giving him some work. And she's gonna say, we need you to pull the tapes and the footage for like the last few times these people were seen. So in the hours up to their disappearance, I want to see what their demeanor was like. I want to see where they were going, what they were doing, and show us the last like 3 meals that they would have partaken in to see if they were sitting together. We need you to do that, okay, Michael?
Sure. Yeah, sure.
Okay.
Let me write this down. What do you, let me make sure I got this accurate. I don't want to go through 4 weeks of videos. So, and
I didn't say 4 weeks.
yeah, no,
I said
that's what
Maya-
he was,
Maya, do you want to borrow one of my cards to write it down for him?
no, I've got,
So Sean, if
I've got a piece of paper right here.
Maya will do that. She's going to actually just jot down
Yeah.
quickly, like everything that I just
I
described.
just want to make sure I get
basically.
the right information for you, Agent. That's
Understood.
yeah,
I understood.
Yeah.
I get it.
The nurse is
And
like,
last,
these guys are a little high strung, man. Loosen up.
Maya's like
We're
leaning
here
past
looking for
him,
6 people that disappeared.
writing on his
Do your
desk.
watch.
Yes, I wasn't gonna say it, but she said it.
While she's writing on the desk, she says, "Oh, you know what?" And she gestures back to who has the bag, Gary or
Yeah.
Mantillo?
Right here.
Yeah.
Gary. She's like,
Mummy duty.
recognize that bag? Is it? Have you seen people carrying it around here on your, as you're watching everybody? And she finishes jotting down her notes.
And he says, I think is that Richards?
Ding, 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 ding. You're correct.
And do you say ding ding, Jerry?
Yes, I did.
Yeah. Maya goes, she finishes her last bullet point, like it hits the paper with the pencil, like thud. She's like, yeah, ding. I want to see the footage from just like an hour ago of the basement where the lockers are.
Okay.
Pull that up right now. So what she's aiming at, Sean, is when Richard went and got the bag.
Yeah.
And where? Because he mentioned getting it, I think, in the basement in the locker. That's where he got his gym stuff.
The only problem is
Remember
they're
that?
not going to have cameras in the locker room.
Exactly.
I don't know if it's a locker room, or is it more like a bus depot set of lockers? I don't know. Know what I mean?
Right. Yes.
Is it lockers where you keep stuff, or is it a changing room? It may not be a changing room.
Yeah.
Sure.
So
I could roll luck.
so he's got all this. He's got like, okay, I got it. And he writes that down.
Yep.
Yeah. So I guess I got some work to do. And he
Yeah, we
kinda
appreciate it.
rolls his eyes.
We appreciate it.
Okay.
You can have them email it to your phone, the clips.
Yeah, just text us. She writes her number down too.
Sure. He's like, yeah,
Burn-
I'll
burn her number.
I'll probably get to most of this tomorrow.
What about that stuff
Because you're
from an
so
hour ago?
busy right
We can just watch that right now.
Right now. That's right.
Oh, you want that right now?
Do you speak English?
Look, you guys gave me a lot of information here. And then we need all this, and I appreciate that and want to be able to cooperate. But he's like looking at the nurse, and she's like, I don't.
Yeah.
Just cooperate then. It's not that hard.
Oh,
Maya
all
moves it a
right
bit.
then.
She's like the other stuff can wait, till tomorrow. But let's have a look at that locker area right now if we can.
Sure, absolutely. So he flips open, or he hits a couple buttons. There's a control panel, so he starts futzing with them, and he's got one main monitor, and it's going backwards, and he's scrubbing through it, puts in a timestamp, and it picks it up.
All right, at least they're still not on VHS.
I was wondering about that, if it's video or digital.
It's got like a joystick.
Oh, the tape broke. Dang.
That's right.
Pretty much. There's a spot during the time that he thinks Richard comes on duty. He walks into the facility. He's got a duffel bag. He goes to the locker room.
Empty duffel bag when he walks in?
He's
duffel bag.
carrying a duffel bag.
I mean, you could tell if it's empty or not. So
Correct.
I'm going to say there's stuff.
Is it floppy and
It's probably floppy, I guess.
Less full than it is
It's hard
now?
to say. It is a black round duffel bag that he's carrying, and it looks like there's a little maybe strain to him. It's not. I don't know how heavy a mummified child weighs.
How much is his muscle flexing?
Yeah, he's
We're gonna figure out the weight ratio.
Somebody's carrying 200 pounds in one arm. He's all cockeyed like this, and
It was only 30 pounds.
Yeah, it's not very heavy.
For me, I'd be leaning to one side, but he seemed like he was fit.
Yeah.
So,
and he goes in through he is hitting a couple buttons, and you could see a transfer from one camera angle to the next. And he comes through in admissions and goes into.
Do they look at his bag when he comes in?
No, they don't look at it.
Okay.
Somebody's in trouble. Write that guy up.
Yeah, and the nurse is like, "Oh, we should have checked that." And so then it's brought in. He goes down a hallway. Blah blah blah. It goes this way, that way. Then there's personnel staff only. Swipes in. Door opens. There's, will it be a camera in there? I don't know. Sure, why not? There's a camera in there. It's lockers where people put their coats and jackets when they come into work. It's not
not a changing room.
Shower changing room, no.
Yeah.
And he's got the bag. He puts it on a bench, and he opens up a locker, and he takes off his coat and hangs up his coat in the locker, and then gets his badge on, probably puts a couple of items in the locker, closes it shut, takes the bag, and he walks out. And then it goes through. See 3 agents come in the front entrance, and it zips through that, and then he goes up to the second floor, and then the third floor.
So that's weird too, right? Somebody carrying their duffel bag around while they're on duty.
What's that?
I say to Michael, that's weird too, right? Somebody carrying around the duffel bag while they're on duty.
They brought from outside.
Yeah, it's a little unusual. I'm not sure why he took it up.
Isn't it completely against policy up on the third floor?
Well, Michael's an orderly and staff.
I understand.
We don't question each other every day on things.
I'm carrying duffel bags up to the restricted floor.
Contraband.
And he looks at the nurse, and he's like,
Has that ever happened before?
Well, he's brought in his duffel bag before. He's kind of a fitness guy.
Have you ever carried it onto duty before? Obviously, he brings it in. That seems normal. Does he ever carry it onto the floor with him? Okay.
Yeah, and we've searched, we've done diligent searches. Maybe we didn't do one today. And he's like, obviously, we didn't do one today. He looks at the monitor.
That happens.
Yeah.
All right, so Maya leans over and adds a bullet to her list, and she's like, search for Richard carrying that bag anywhere in the same footage frame, etc.,
Yep.
as the other 6 people. They're
Now he's
looking
gonna be
for.
like, I'll get back to you in a week.
Nice. That's perfect.
I'm
like it.
busy.
He's like, okay, he adds it to the
And
list.
so, Sean, I don't know if I caught it. So you're saying the bag this whole time looks kind of empty?
No,
Or is it just hard to
it's
tell?
hard to
No,
say
it
if
looks the
it's
same.
not.
It looks the same.
No,
all
it
the
looks the
time,
same,
right?
but
Yeah.
I think what we gleaned from when he brought it in,
Carried it inside.
Yes.
Okay.
never
Yes.
like took anything in or out.
Correct.
So
Got
it
it.
came
in
from
with the
outside.
mummy.
It's with him.
Came in with the bag, never opened it till you guys.
He carries a
approached
mummy
him.
in a bag around,
That's right.
like I do now.
Right.
We
Yeah,
gotta
he's
check
just like you.
this dude's residence, guys.
You do notice. I will say this: at some point in the frame, you're like, "Whoa, what? Hold on a second." Michael he reverses it, and you see Michael talking like in the locker room. He's like talking,
His mouth moving.
like nobody's around. And he's just.
Richard talking.
I'm sorry,
Richard,
Richard.
yeah.
Yes.
Richard.
Okay, I was like,
Did I
dude,
say Michael?
You were in the locker room
No,
and you
no.
didn't tell us.
Richard.
Yeah, I got it.
One slip up in Delta Green, and you're having to recreate the wheel for the next 5 sessions.
Spends another hour on a red herring that never even happened.
Totally. Why are these guys going this way? You
That's
said
awesome.
Like, that's why we wrote
5
every name
hours
down,
ago.
because it's so confusing.
Yeah.
All right, so this guy came in with the mummy and then walked around with the mummy, and then we have the mummy, and
And
we're
we
walking
have the
around with it
mummy.
now. That's great.
Yeah, now you're walking, and then it's like, and you
you're
took
in.
his bag, and then you go in the
You're in.
conference
Yeah.
room, and then
Yeah,
it's like, now you've got the bag,
We're
and it's like,
you can
they look
stop
at it, and it's
doing
like,
it now. Stop it. Stop, Michael. Stop. Yeah. Quietly, just to her compatriots, she says, "We need to check his house."
Sure.
Put it on the list.
It is like,
Michael's got a list, and we got a list.
Right.
yeah. All right. Michael's going to help us out, guys. Anything else we need from him?
I don't think so.
We appreciate it.
I think we're good for now.
he's like,
If you
sure,
just want him in a
anytime. He's
thousand
like,
directions.
if you guys want to, like, he's like, I have no problem if you want to come in here and go through the videos yourself.
Understand. Thank you.
We may do that when we finish the rest of our investigation.
We would like you to attempt to do your job a little bit. So I said it for Mantillo.
How
He was totally
looks
thinking
at the
it.
nurse, and the nurse is like, just kind of goes like this. All right. Well, if I can be of any help, by all means, don't
You will.
hesitate
You got
to
work
ask.
there. You'll be helped. That's great.
All right. Then you probably go out, and then if you go down to the woman's
Yep.
wing, and then the room is the same. It's very mundane. You
Cool.
know, yeah. No books found. There's
All right, we
slippers
checked
are
something off our list.
different locations. Yeah.
My thing is done. It's your
Clothes.
guys' turn now.
Clothes, ironically, are different sizes.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Well, at least it's off the table. We're like, all right,
Yeah.
we did that. We
So
don't
what,
have to
what time
ask
of
it.
day do we think it is by now?
Well, so
Oh my God.
damn, that's
I don't
a good
even know.
question. So depending on
I feel like the question is whether we just are about to spend the night or whether we're about to go run a bunch of errands and then come back and spend the night.
Yeah, the thing I was told 2 weeks ago is a horrible idea.
It is a horrible idea.
Why you?
It's a terrible idea.
if you guys decide to do a top to bottom search of the facility, it's going to take you at least or around 3 hours.
I don't see any reason
There's
to do a
nothing
top
else
to
to
bottom
find
search
here
of the facility, do you?
unless the only thing that I'm interested in, I think, like Maya's. Well, yeah, something
We don't even
but
know they saw the book here. They could have
We
seen
don't.
the book out on wherever.
It's true, but
the
they've
thing
been
that
here
we
for
know
years.
exists is the files for the patients in Dallin's room. That's the only.
And
tangible
Ed's journal.
Right.
I guess, but I think that's just ramblings of a.
You guys all stay in this, right? Like in this computer room or on the?
No,
I don't
we
even know where
stepped
you
out.
are. At
We
this
told you
point.
we stepped out. We stepped out.
Of the computer.
We already
room.
went to the women's room. Remember we went to the women's
we're
room?
in
The
the
women's
room.
rooms were all
Yeah.
empty. We already
But
did all that.
Samagina's still with you, right?
He's probably still with us, yeah.
Okay.
We need like hand signals for like when we're talking to each other.
Well, if you're
We'll be
talking to
clear
each other
when we
and the
break out.
nurse is there, that you guys are gonna you guys got to be like, hey,
Samagina.
we're gonna go in another room.
We
We're
take a
gonna leave.
walk.
Right.
That's why people leave facilities to talk amongst themselves. Otherwise, the nurse is standing there.
I
That's
got
why.
us a meeting room. We have a meeting room.
Yeah.
That
We
is
can go
true.
back
If you
around.
go to the meeting room,
Yeah.
that's cool. I want to.
Yeah, we should go back to the meeting room.
Okay.
My calves are killing me from
Because
these
if you're
stairs,
in the
man.
meeting room, then what I have going on the third floor is there
Up to
without
third
you guys
floor.
there.
Back to-
Exactly.
Okay.
Which is good, because that way we don't go insane.
I gotta say, so eventually we're like, there's nothing going on here. Let's leave.
Right.
This is boring. Oh dear.
Um,
Yeah,
Alright.
so we're back in the meeting room. And I bet by now, we're tired.
Sure.
I am
It's
very
like,
tired.
And
Mentally,
Semagina
emotionally.
is going to get you, like, she'll do copies of stuff, and she's like, here's a map of the facility, and she, you know, the things that are on the wall, like, you are here. She gets you copies of that, gives you a welcome packet that she provides, you know,
Uh-oh, that's
dependents and things of that nature. It's got the history of the Dorchester, like, as much as she can.
I think Bryce went off with Dr. Dallin, right?
He did.
Yes.
yeah.
So should we ask Samagina, if we're in the room here alone, should we ask Samagina to bring Dr. Dallin back and run some of our theories, or even how we're trying to connect the dots past him yet? Should
Yeah,
we
but
That's not a
he's
bad
a
idea.
good
him out
guy.
of this yet?
One of my
Yeah,
go ahead.
So is he a good guy?
We don't know yet.
We don't know.
No.
We don't know yet.
How did you guys get here? Like 10?
One of my
11?
early morning.
I think it was
actually.
11, right? It was after
It
10.
might have been 11. You're right.
For lunch,
You're right.
pizza,
Definitely
blah,
after-
blah, blah, blah.
One of my concerns about stealing the files is that we are the only people here that could do it. You know, it's us. Like, there's nobody else that it was. If those files go missing,
6 people disappeared. It could have been the boogeyman, just like that.
I don't buy it.
We could get pictures of them. We get in there and
Yeah,
get pictures.
That seems like a little better of a.
rather than
Yeah,
taking
we
them.
have technology now.
We also got to figure out if he's going to let us stay overnight and where we're going to stay,
Right.
and if we can get some gear in here, if you know what I mean.
I do know what you mean. I mean, so that the gear is here, and there may be. I mean, your gear is down at the security place. Oh, he locked it in a thing, right?
He did.
It has to be late as hell right now because we got to the Dorchester house at 11:15 a.m.
That's
I
probably
didn't
like
have
supper
us-
time.
Yeah.
That's what I was thinking. That it's sort of around dinner time. Yeah.
This must be 4 or 5 hours later, I would think.
Yeah.
John, you concur?
Yeah. Yeah, I guess, yeah, if you guys like, we do top to bottom now, then I would just fast forward at 3 hours, which would probably put you at around 4 in the afternoon, 3 in,
I think we're tired.
3 in the
I
afternoon.
think that would be. We're just going to be looking for things. Oh wait, that's what we're supposed to do.
Yeah, I mean, we could go out for dinner. I don't know what we're going to do for food. We need to talk to Dallin at some point.
So we agree that we're not staying here for the night because that's probably a horrible idea.
Wait, what?
Are we?
We are. In fact, what we need to do next, Maya snaps her fingers. She's like, we need to find out if Ed got your note. Gary.
Yeah, my note. Should have put your guys' names on it.
So now that we're alone, we don't have to play this all out, Lou, but Maya will ask what was on the note. Gary can describe it so we all know what we've asked him. So maybe we need to find him at supper time when they come down for dinner. Might be a good time for us to see Ed.
Sure.
What were you
Yeah,
gonna
maybe
say,
we could
Mantillo?
arrange to eat with the third floor crew.
Not a bad idea. See how they interact, see how they're brought in, brought out, since the place seems so strangely insecure sometimes.
Yeah.
And then maybe I can go to the bathroom
I know what
and
else.
wink at Ed.
You should do that, but be careful. You know.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Because you never know. His privileges might, maybe he's allowed to carry a shotgun around.
Who knows?
So how about this? How about we get
Pen
Samagina?
knife.
We should get Samagina to order us a pizza. So I don't know if I want to eat the food here
Okay.
for a whole variety of reasons.
Sure.
All right, so we'll get some food and then we'll partake in the dinner and observe it maybe first, second, third floor. We could also observe from the security room.
Yeah, but that won't get him talking to Ed.
Did we ever ask if there has been any previous disappearances for any reason over the last 20 years. I don't think we did.
We need to ask Dallin about that.
That seems kind of pertinent.
Maybe we should talk to Dallin soon and arrange, staying overnight.
Yeah, you know what? We should anyway. Like, hey, look, we thank you. We were at your facility. Thanks for all your cooperation. What other concerns do you have? Play it like we're buddy with him.
Yeah.
And then maybe just ask him a couple wrap up questions and maybe gauge. Like, let's kind of like hint at staying and see his reaction, because he doesn't know. Maybe if he's all like, "Well, you don't have to, like, just come back tomorrow," then something's funny. Well, there is
cold
funny.
feet.
No, I want to know what we're dealing with here. That's the only thing.
Good luck. Oh, you mean with Dr. Dallin?
I trust this bag more than I do the doctor.
You're crazy if that's true.
Yeah.
Sean, when we come in, remind me, was there a metal detector or a pat down or a wand?
Yes.
Metal detector.
Okay.
Yeah, I've been thinking about plastic knives. They make those, right?
Plastic K-bars? Yeah, definitely.
That's right. All right, I guess we need Dallin, right?
Yeah.
Why don't we take a break? We'll come back and we'll have Dallin
download it up.
And Tio's going to call in a favor to get a 3D printed knife.
Exactly. So if I'm going to get 3D printed, I'm going for a gun.
We should just ask them on the inside, like, where do you guys keep the guns? They're going to be like, oh, they're right here. Exactly. We'll just take whatever ones we want.
2016, it might take a little bit long to get that 3D printed.
Oh, my God.
House. Who knows what is there? He brought this thing in. And he is not in his right mind. We don't even know if Dallin let him go or not.
This whole time I've been trying to think, and this is Jerry talking, I've been trying to think about what to do with this bag. I have no idea.
I bet they have an incinerator.
You can't do that. We don't know how it fits into this whole thing. If nothing else, I'll try to contact the program tonight, my handler, and get like a green box location. We can just dump it somewhere, and they'll take care of it. They'll secure it. Get it off our hands. I don't love that idea because we still don't know how this is all fitting together. Like, who even arranged this? Right?
Yeah.
But it's better than carrying it everywhere. Although your idea, Mantillo, about Richard, the thing has been quiet, right?
Yeah.
I haven't heard a peep. I don't know. All right, so out of character, anything you guys want to add to that list of, like, get shit done tonight? No? All right. So it sounds like we're going to get Sam and Gina to come in.
We're all sleeping in the same room tonight, right?
We'll see what they have for a place where we can stay.
That's all I'm concerned about. Don't leave me in the room with this bag with this mummy by myself. That's a horrible plan.
Just to cover this quickly, Sean, I think Maya is going to get Sam and Gina to order some food. Whatever, what local is good type of thing, right? Get takeout for us, please. She'll pay her some bucks. When you see Dr. Dallin, and the last thing she'll do, she's going to go check her gun out and leave the building, and she's going to put her gun in the car so that she has easier access to it in case of emergency, because it's locked up right now, right?
Right.
Yeah. So she doesn't want to have it locked up. She's going to secure it in the vehicle somewhere, like, Velcro under the seat type of thing, something like that. All right.
Do I get a gun, Maya? You owe me a gun.
Sean, does all that take place?
It all takes place. Yes. My only weird conundrum is you take the gun out of the facility and then you come back into the facility without it.
Right.
Yeah, he's not coming back with it. It just wants it in the car.
She says she's like FBI. I secured it.
Got it. No,
yeah. So
they may look at you. Yeah, they may look at you cross-eyed, right? Yeah.
In fact, what I'm going to say, actually, Sean, she probably would say, "I need to collect my gun because I'm going to secure it outside."
Okay.
Instead of leaving it here, I'll be right back.
I got
that
it.
Kind of thing, right?
Sure.
Yeah.
They wonder why you wouldn't be able to secure it here, but okay, whatever you say, agent.
Well, taking it away is going to be normal because she's not going to leave it there when she leaves. That's a normal act. It's the act of not coming back with it.
Right.
She'll quote some made up chapter and verse. FBI agents aren't supposed to surrender their weapons in facilities like this.
Well, it can even make sense. Hey, I know the rules now. Why would I go through all the hassle when I can just keep it locked up somewhere?
Yep. Now I know not to bring my firearm here.
Yeah. Got it. Okay. All right.
You didn't answer my question. Do I get a gun?
Yeah, I wanted to know if I was back inside, and she's just like, "Fuck no!" As she cruises past you,
wow.
Ponytail swinging, like hell no. You know what? She sits down in the room, Jerry Mantillo, and she's like, "It's not as bad as that last time, right? Not that bad." Referring to New York.
Yeah. Not yet.
Not that bad.
Not yet.
I don't even remember that.
A row of books on the shelf.
So food is ordered.
Okay.
Brought into the conference room. Here you go. Jimmy John's subs. This is not sponsored by Jimmy John's or endorsed by Jimmy John's.
I hate when you ask a local for the good stuff and they get you a chain food. I hate that. Maya hates it too. She's unhappy eating your sandwich. Like,
and to be clear, it doesn't mean that food is bad. It just means that's
right.
That's
not what she asked for.
Cut all that out, Sean.
Yeah.
Start over.
Okay, so gun out, gun secured, back in the place, food ordered. What else was there that you were Dallin? You wanted to talk to Dr. Dallin?
Let Dallin know we want to see.
Maya brought a second gun for Mignon, and she keeps it in her car.
Oh. So Dr. Dallin comes down.
Taser. Do I get a taser?
Looks like he's got a coat on. And a very light coat. But nonetheless, he's got his briefcase with him.
Like ready to go home, right?
Looks like he's about to go home. He's got keys in his hand. But he stops by the conference room nonetheless and checks in on how progress is being made. And obviously doesn't want to go without acknowledging you guys or finding out what's going on, what you're attempting to do, if he can be of any help. And he'll tell you like he's going to come back in the morning. So he says, "So are you almost wrapped up for the day, or?"
You guys want Maya to take the lead here? When are you going to do it?
I take the lead, but be like, we don't have a hotel room, and it just makes sense. We still have more stuff to do.
Jerry, Doctor. She's basically going to say, "We're just really getting started. There's this is not easy to piece together, right?
Of course,
some strange things that have happened. What happened to man with the duffel bag? What was his name? Bryce.
Richard
Bryce. Yes. What happened to him?
We brought him into a room. I questioned him and got some details about the nature of the peculiar bag, and so we have given him some time off, and we'll be investigating it internally to determine what really is at the nature of this. But I fear Richard might have some ailments we weren't fully aware of.
So for now, he's free to go, and you already turned him loose?
We did. We didn't feel that it warranted any... we know where his location is, AJ. We can certainly provide that to you if you want to pursue him. But we figured until we had some more details, we didn't feel it right to have him be on duty until we got to the bottom of it.
Maya slides her notebook over to him and says, "Just his address would be great. We may just drop in to see him tonight to ask him some more questions."
Yes, of course. And then he grabs it and he writes down his address and he's like, "Here you go."
Thank you.
Of course.
Now, as far as what we're planning on doing, no, we're probably pulling all nighter here tonight. We have a lot of security tape footage to review.
Yes.
We have a lot of leads to follow and corroborate and start to pull together. So, in fact, what I was going to do is ask your nurse for a few cots, set them up in here. A couple of us may get some shut eye while others are working. But if it's okay with you, we're going to spend the night here.
Sure. No, that's fine. Okay. Yep. The badges, I think the nurse might have mentioned, should get you to the common areas throughout the building. Restricted areas, you might have some, like you're not going to be able to enter the nurses' stations or the security footage without probably personnel, just because the badges that you have are pretty generalized for common areas and things of that nature. Just so you know, you may need to ask the on-duty nurse to be able to help you with that.
Okay, I got two other questions then. Mantillo, Jerry, if you have others, I don't want to keep Dr. Dallin all night from his family or from going home.
Appreciate that.
But you can appreciate something strange is going on here, and the fact that the three of us are here really puts a fine point on that, right?
Right, of course.
I really need to have my firearm in here tonight. With what's happened with the bag and the security concern, I know you're the administrator. I know you own the organization that funds this facility. I know you have the authority to make this call. I mean, I can make some calls to FBI headquarters if I need to, but we do not feel safe staying here with the way this man carried this bag in and the security footage. He walked right past security. So we don't know what is in this building, and we need to be able to defend ourselves.
Give me a roll.
Okay.
And I'm gonna guess
Persuade
would do the trick to see.
I see a 51. A 51 means she's failed at some point.
I will give you a +10 on that.
That's nice because I got a 97.
You are being a little too he says, Agent Maya, I respect. I mean, many of our patients have come from military duty, law enforcement, suffer from PTSD. So I have the utmost respect for the law and protection and all that. I sincerely understand where you're coming from. Unfortunately, it's just we really can't have that occur. Just we haven't had an act of violence within the facility without control and without firearms, and we haven't lost a life here in its entire history. And by inducing a weapon as much as a firearm would just put that in jeopardy. I hope you understand. If you feel as though you have to go through some legal, then I will abide by the law. But unfortunately, that does not apply in this instance.
Her jaw just tightened. She's just like, all right.
Your 97 jaw.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah. He can tell that she's pissed.
Yeah, for sure. He's like trying to calm me down and like totally get it. I apologize. I understand that
she can't help herself. She does a bit of a shrug. She's like, all right, it's on you. Anything happens.
Does he genuinely seem concerned that these 6 people are gone and there's no clues? Is he genuinely concerned?
Yeah.
Might pick it up anything.
You want to give me a hint? Sure. You want to give me a hint?
It's a rolling bonanza.
That's right. 2 rolls.
The dice are so cold right now. I don't know if we want to
go through a session and not roll some dice.
We almost made it.
What is this, a story game? What is this? I didn't sign up for no story games. I don't even know where my thing is. Here we go.
Oh my God.
Exactly. How do I roll?
I don't have any
character
dice.
sheet.
I wasn't prepared.
Gotta be in Foundry.
What's going on here?
But you still had one other question. Was that true? You said 2 things. And this was one of them, right?
So while Jerry's trying to read him, this may even help. This whole does he care?
Right.
He says, one thing we picked up is that there may be a connection between these 6 people who are missing, and it may be that there's a book or something they've all read or shared? Do you remember anything from your sessions with them, seeing them? Was there a book club? Anything like that? Nice roll, Jerry.
Jerry, would you
pretty good.
I can't even see it. My Foundry's frozen.
Oh, it's a
96.
96?
What?
Seriously?
Yeah.
We went 97, 96.
Yes,
Edwin is going to be a 95 when he
I'm going
rolls.
to check heavy machinery soon, and I'm going to get a 95.
do, they
Get
have
down in the
a,
furnace room.
do they have a
Is that a
generator?
bulldozer I see out in the parking lot? Did I take that for a spin?
All right, so she's asking about the book.
He says, I'd have to go through my notes, but there isn't anything that stands out to me where there was a book club's probably not a bad idea, but it's not something we have formally in place. We don't have a library. So unless, of course, do you know the title of the book?
Wish we did.
Do you know what it's about?
You're saying there's no books. None of that matters. I mean,
we could be on the lookout. Maybe somebody has it and we're not aware of it. Maybe they're hiding it. We don't know. We could certainly search people's quarters and see. You deem it necessary. You think a book is behind the disappearance of 6 people? Looks at y'all like
What we think. Well, you know how dangerous books can be, ideology and all sorts of things.
Of course, sure. I mean, some of our biggest societies have been influenced by the written word.
With your security system that you have in place here and your personnel, we are left without hardly any clues. So this is one. We're going to try to get to the bottom of it. We don't know what. She points to the bag. She says, we don't know what's going on with this yet.
Yes.
So, yes.
you Jerry, you were wondering, anyone else in the last 20 years disappeared, or is just these 6?
Forgot about that question.
No, yes. To say that our record is flawless would be an overstatement, but it's where it'd be maybe some furlough had gone a little bit longer than anticipated, things of that nature.
But nothing weird.
No, nothing like that. 6 people? This is
or even
quite
one
unusual.
Person weird. I mean, even one person disappearing
is
like
quite
this
unusual.
would be weird.
Yes, and typically it's more of a, honestly, Agent, it's more of a bureaucratic flub up, if you will. So somebody signing off on a release of a patient that
that's not disappearing. That's
right. We have no. This is quite unusual, and I know the work that you're involved in.
Mm-hmm.
So,
and this is the only instance of any crossover with our work and your work that
anything
you're aware
on
of.
This level, of course. Yeah, obviously, this is
on this level. Okay.
Well, what would you? I don't know how else to put it. It's 6 people that disappeared, and I don't have any records.
You don't seem overly concerned for 6 people just disappearing.
No.
You just seem way too calm.
Well, I feel confident that you've been brought in and that you have the skills to be able to help. And so before this, I was a little more frantic, if you will.
Yeah. All right.
Maybe tomorrow you can go through all of your case files for each of the patients and see what there's reference to. Look for any connectivity, not just the book, any connectivity, them talking about each other, talking about other people that they met, dreams, anything like that.
Of course. Yes.
Abigail Wright.
Abigail Wright? Yes.
Yeah, you know the name that was on the wall?
Yes.
Hopefully, yeah. Across the wall. Excuse me. It's gone to see.
All right. We good, guys? For Dallin?
We're good. Yeah. Yeah. We can go to dinner with the 3rd floor crew.
Yes, you can. I've arranged special escorts for you to be present.
Excellent. Jerry's got a date.
And he looks at, I
don't say anything more.
Yeah. All right. 5
What time
o'clock?
are you back in the morning?
Oh, I should be here at 7 o'clock. At 7 o'clock, usually I roll in.
All right. And do we have his phone number, Sean? Like a personal? If not, Maya gets him to write it down.
He says somebody at the front desk would have my emergency number if you need it. But here, I can give it to you if you'd like. Gives you his cell phone number.
It's good that he did that because she was about to take a strip off him for not She's like, maybe when he's in the middle of saying that, she pushes the book a little further, like write it down. So
You don't understand how emergencies work.
Right.
Exactly.
All right.
Thank you. You've been helpful. Thanks to your staff as well. There were some tense moments today, but we'll see what we can find.
Look, I look forward to your findings, and please let me know. I know Samagina is more than happy to help out. If she'll be leaving in about 15 minutes herself for the day, but there'll be somebody else here that can help you out through the evening if you need anything, I'm sure.
And that next shift knows about our presence, right?
They
won't be
do.
surprised
I've
by us.
informed all the staff that you are investigating the disappearance of the 6 individuals, and they're all aware to be able to cooperate. And if there's any questions on what they're able to provide you, they can certainly call me, and I will do what I need to. Please, I ask of you though, some of these folks, great people, come in, do their jobs 8 to 5, but they aren't running the hospital. So just keep that in mind if they have some reluctancy of divulging everything that they need to. We work in the health industry, and sometimes some matters are sensitive and they're not aware of what can be divulged.
Maya taps his phone number in her book. She's like, that's why I've got this. We can call you.
And
Mantillo
she
also
points at
has
you.
her ways.
Or he points at you. There you go.
Okay. Again,
Jerry?
I said Mantillo has ways too. She usually gets what she wants.
We see him at the door before we say anything else. It'll tip over the
Exactly.
apple cart.
Right. He says, well, I'll see you out, and have a good evening. And then he walks out.
You too.
Okay.
So we're basically sleeping in the conference room on the cots. Is that that's where the cots are?
Is there
that seems reasonable.
Better idea?
No, it seems great. Oh. I mean, we should put Jerry in the hall just so he can be on guard. But
yes. If any place has mobile
he's going to
beds,
sneak up on me while he's going to be watching me while I'm sleeping, and I'm going to open my eyes, and he's going to be there.
Maya says, before this dinner starts, should we have someone in that security room just to more broadly observe what's going on here?
No, Michael is on point, according to Mantillo.
Do you trust Michael?
I don't trust anybody, but Michael just seems like it's his job. It's probably going to be a different guy tonight. I'm sure he's not working all day.
Yeah, Michael should be going off.
Maya's like, I'm going up. I want to see.
We can always watch the tape later.
Yeah, no, I think that's good. You want to get the sort of the full view of the facility.
I want to see what it looks like when they let them out of their rooms. I want to see how they handle
the escort works, exactly.
How the patients that are violent. I want to see all that.
I just wanted more people near me to protect me. That's all.
Are you bringing your duffel to dinner there, Jerry?
I mean, I'm afraid if I stash it, what if it disappears or walks away?
It makes sense.
But Maya pauses at the door before she heads out and is going to try to find her way up to security. And she's like, "What about Richard Bryce? Did we try to go to see him tonight? He may come here.
That's why I'm holding the bag.
He may come here tonight. Should we cut that off at the pass?
They shouldn't let him in, right? He's been he's on leave.
Let go. Yeah.
That's a good idea. We should tell them at security to let us know if they see him.
Do not let him in.
I'll tell them on the way up.
Excellent.
Don't let him in and buzz you. Give him your cell phone.
Okay.
Yep.
If he shows
up. Sean, she'll leave, stop by the front, and basically tell them if Richard Bryce comes back, he's on leave. If he comes back, we need to be alerted immediately. Here's the phone number. And then she's going to head up to the security office.
Sounds good. The doctor did mention that Richard is on leave, and typically when folks are on leave, we're not to question the reasoning and not allow them. His badge won't work. We've turned it off temporarily. So
we have reason to believe he may try to come anyway. So just be on the lookout.
Oh, of course, sure. She can.
All right.
Yeah. Okay, so you go to the computer room. So Maya goes to the computer room. Mignon What are you going to do, Jerry?
I think we're waiting for our escort to dinner.
Okay.
Dinner.
Yeah.
We're waiting. Yeah, the whole thing is around the dinner.
Okay. So Mantillo and Jerry are going to go to dinner. Yes,
With third
on the
floor
third
crew.
floor. Okay. And Maya, are you going with them at the same time?
Maya's
Okay.
fully intending to. You should go into the security room, introduce herself if it's a new dude or a new woman,
Sure.
and basically pull up a chair and say, "I'm here to, FBI. I'm here to observe how the facility operates." So she all through dinner and before, so she's seeing the coming out of the rooms, going into the rooms,
Yep.
down the stairs, blah blah blah. She wants to see all that.
Sounds good. So they have a method of the orderlies bringing, they go to each room. Hey, it's dinner time. They, the room is opened with a key card by the orderly. The person comes out and they walk them to the cafeteria. And it looks like they do it in shifts. So they do like one group if it's not too big, and then they bring another group so the orderlies can go one by one. Just to not.
I mean, there aren't that many third floor people at all, right? I mean,
No.
I think there's like,
No,
in fact, the
it
6
wasn't.
missing must have been almost.
Yeah, majority of them, right? Yeah, it's probably down to half.
Yeah.
Right. So
Yeah.
it doesn't take much for them to be able to do it, but guys like Richard Bryce aren't around. But they take staff, and it's in a very methodical order. However they would do it, they would go to the patient's room, open it up, bring the patient out, escort the patient down to the cafeteria where there is an orderly there, a couple orderlies, surveying the room. The individuals. Yep.
Do the patients look worried, concerned?
No.
Any anguish?
None. Okay. Zero. It's like a normal day. Going to get dinner. Hungry.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do I see Ed?
You do see Ed. Yeah.
Just eyeing up Ed.
Yeah. Ed
Doesn't
doesn't really acknowledge you other than, gives you the same treatment as he would Mantillo. Kind of like one of these. Gets his food, paper plate, blah, blah, blah. And they sit at a table. And it's like the old, like the outdoor Mickey D's tables, like big concrete, like tabletop, and then it's round, and then it's got the bench all the way around it, all like one piece, probably weighs about 700 pounds, cemented into the floor. Nobody's flipping tables in here. And typically they're asked to eat at separate tables as they consume their food, and they can talk amongst each other. It's not prison or anything, so it's not a big deal. I think they probably eat with all spoons.
Well, are the women in here too?
They are, yeah. It's a common area, so they'll bring men and women, and it's in the middle, kind of probably, yeah.
And sort of dig into gore detail, but total population of the third floors together, we're talking 10 people, 30 people?
Well, I think the whole facility's like 30.
Yeah, I thought the whole facility was like 30.
Yeah.
Oh, my bad. So
But if we've got 10
like
up
a
top and
handful of
6 of them
people.
are gone.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like
There's
5
a handful
people
of
at dinner.
Yeah,
including
not very
Jerry.
many. Yep.
I got you.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
So they bring the third. So we're not technically sitting with the third floor people. We're just sitting there.
We're sitting in a room with the third floor people.
Room.
Okay.
That's
But
the
it's
plan,
only
right?
the third floor people. That's it. That's all. That's
only the
all
third
that's
floor
in there.
people.
Yeah,
They
they
don't
don't
eat
bring
with the other
everybody
people.
all at
Right.
once.
That's what I meant.
Yeah.
No, sorry.
Yeah.
That's what I meant.
They're going to bring them in batches. They're not going to.
Yeah.
They bring too many people at once. If something happens, it'll be chaos.
There's an A, B, and C dinner.
Yes.
Do all of the patients wear identification bracelets or something?
Yes.
I would like to see, and maybe I also motion to Mantillo that maybe we should glean some of the names off these other 4 bracelets or these other 3 bracelets and just Google them later to just see who they are.
All right. Sure.
Sure. Okay.
Yeah, just I'm curious how many
Would
more
have been easier
mass
just to
murderers
ask
you
the
did
nurse what their
right
names were, but yeah.
Yeah. Are
Thinking
you
that
gonna
this
go
way
up to
too.
each one, sit down at their table,
No.
and like,
Well,
hey man?
yeah, I mean, if we're doing the rounds, we're not just gonna sit there.
Well, I guess that's the question. Like, are you going up there to seem like you just want to eat dinner and see how they, or are you like standing at the entrance like the orderlies and?
Yeah, no.
We got to get you seated next to Ed at some point.
Some point.
So
I
I'd
have
go
an
up there
idea,
with you.
but I'm not there, so I won't give it to you.
It's fine. It's all good.
You could have had it
Harrigan?
earlier.
I'm not into subterfuge and trickery. I'm just gonna sit down across from him with my metal tray.
All right.
You're eating the hospital food.
Before I didn't say I was eating it, but I mean I gotta
Okay.
look like I'm there to eat dinner, right? So
Mhm.
I could trade my biscuits.
So you sit across
for
from
the cherry
Ed?
Jello.
You said
I totally sit across from Ed, but before I go over there, I whisper to Mantillo, I'm like, "You need to get my back, right?"
I got it.
All right. So I do. I sit right across from him.
okay. It's like, hey,
Hey Ed, how's it going?
good, you.
All right.
Cool.
How's the food?
It's mental health food. What are you gonna do?
Yeah, I don't really eat this stuff anyway. And then I take out a slice of pizza that I hid from us getting pizza. And I give it to him under the table.
Gross. Like pizza in your pocket.
Something very odd about this, but if I had known this, I would have said, "Hey, Mantillo, you get a whiff of some pepperoni cheese pizza coming from somewhere."
And where'd you get pizza? We had Jimmy John's. That must be the worst pizza ever.
You said you ordered pizza.
We did order pizza, but that's not what we ended up with.
Right, exactly. 18-inch pepperoni. Here's a Big John roasted.
This game has continuity issues. I think it's quite fitting.
Yes.
Yeah, we were commenting on that earlier.
It was the pizza cheesesteak.
You give him the piece of pizza. He's like, "What is this?" What like he goes? He looks at you and says, "Did you honestly have this in your pocket?"
No, it was tucked in my shirt.
Thank you.
I triple paper toweled it. It was fine.
Yeah, he doesn't know what to. He literally says, "I don't know what to say."
All right. Well, forget the pizza, and then I take it back and I just start eating it.
I mean, by all means, he is.
That's fine.
Yeah, probably better than this stuff.
Room temperature pizza. Well, I was just trying to be nice.
So, what are you up here to mingle with us commoners? Is that it?
Oh yeah. Believe me, there's nothing common about you guys. This is an interesting place.
Yeah, it is.
Did you happen to see any notes lately?
Notes?
Remember you kind of gave me a note?
No, I don't.
Doesn't ring a bell?
No, I don't think so.
Okay. That's interesting. But you didn't find any notes passed under your door at all tonight.
That's right. That was you?
It says Jerry on it.
Oh, yeah. You're Jerry. That's right. Jerry. I forgot your name.
Buddy, Jerry.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I apologize. Yes. That's right. Yeah. Okay. Got it. You're Jerry. It didn't say Jerry on it though. Oh, it does say Jerry on it. Yeah.
It does.
Yeah, that's right. He's like, I got it. He goes, I got it right here. And he taps his journal. What?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, you got it.
Yeah, I got it. Yeah.
Did you see what it said on the other side?
Uh,
The important side, apparently.
yeah, the book. Aren't you the author? Are you looking for your own book?
No. I mean, yes, author, acclaimed. I'll send you, signed copies if you wish. They allow you to have them in here.
Maya, you see this happening.
Mm-hmm.
They're sitting together?
Yeah.
Okay.
I feel like
You
I'm
saw the whole
standing. Yeah,
pizza thing.
Yeah, you saw the whole pizza thing, probably.
Exactly. Oh yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
He's like,
like,
where did he get a slice of pizza from? We had sandwiches. He was holding out.
Exactly. I'm really confused. There's no doubt. I'm very confused.
Who's in the room with her? Is it still Michael or is it someone else? Might be Michael. Might have like a 12-hour shift.
Yeah, Michael probably.
So Michael probably hears some muttering under her breath, like, "What is he? What? Where did he get the? Why is he sitting with him?"
And Michael probably is like,
"You didn't give me exact instructions. That's your fault."
And she's like, "Go to the bathroom. Go to the bathroom. Make him see you go to the bathroom." Michael's just like,
Michael's probably like, what's up with your buddy? Like,
he's not. He doesn't know how to follow instructions.
Edward, the book. So apparently, your roommates up on the third floor there, the ones that are not in the building anymore, they were all pretty fond of a book that they all seem to be reading. And I was just curious if you've seen this book or that they were all partial to a book.
Not that I can think of. I mean, I don't know.
No.
I'm not usually unless it comes up in passing and conversation that they're reading something, like anybody ask them what they're reading, but I don't remember any. Why are you asking about a book?
No, because it just, we heard that there was a book that they liked, and I was just curious what they were reading. I mean, I'm an author and all, so, books are kind of my thing.
Oh.
So I was just curious. Did your journal is a book?
Yeah.
Last time I checked.
It is.
Is any chance you like showed some of your daily writings with any of them?
No. Nope.
No, that's for you and you alone.
It's my personal memoir. It's what I like. I mean, they say journaling can be therapeutic.
Yeah. Would you like an author's take on maybe some of your prose?
Nope.
In your journal? No.
Nope. Not even in the least. Nope.
Not even your buddy, Jerry?
Look. You seem like a nice guy, but I'm not.
He's not.
I think I met you like for 10 minutes earlier today. I don't know if we're that on that level. No offense.
So, I have the original note he passed me.
Yeah, sure.
And I look around, and I slide across the table.
Maya, are you watching this?
Yeah.
I was watching all of it. Yeah.
Oh, Maya, sorry.
And Mantillo probably, right? Mantillo?
Yeah, I'm right there watching this stuff. That's crazy shit.
Okay.
I pass it, and I want to see his reaction. Does he make any reaction whatsoever, or
no? He's like, look. He just looks at it. If you slide it in front of me, he looks at it on the table, and he goes,
"Okay."
I would imagine, Sean, from Maya's viewpoint, she can't see that very well, right? I would imagine that.
But you're like, here we go. Jerry took something else out of his pocket.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is.
Yeah, she's just
sliding something across.
What is he doing? What is he doing?
Right. Sliding something across, and he's
all right. So, and I'm like, doesn't ring a bell at all at this little piece of paper.
He looks around. He's like,
Jerry gets a buzzing text in his pocket.
Uh-oh.
And Maya's like,
hey, oh, text. Sorry.
Your phone is buzzing.
You didn't call him. You didn't call him. I don't know what your text ding is.
It
Oh
would
my
probably
God.
be Knight Rider.
dun,
That whole
dun,
like the beginning.
dun,
Yeah,
dun,
yeah, that one. Yeah,
dun,
yep. Knight Rider. Awesome.
And then
Oh,
it stops
God.
after 5 seconds.
So she's
Yeah.
been reading body language, and the text says, "Don't be in his face. You're going to scare him off. Get him alone." What it said.
You gotta. He's like,
and
yeah.
you see this
You got a call there?
looking up at the camera.
And he looks at the camera and he's like, "Boy, you're an odd one."
He's cut out for this work, Jerry.
So I'm like, Ed, I think I have to go to the bathroom.
He at this point he's like, "I'm not that hungry anymore," and he's like,
But he doesn't want that old pizza crust.
he's like,
he
ate it. Jerry ate it. He took it back and ate it.
I did. I take my note back.
Oh God.
Yeah, he's like, and he kind of waves, and an orderly comes over, and he's like, "Okay, I'm ready."
Yeah.
And he
I go
looks
to the
at you
bathroom
and
I keep looking over my shoulder, like, is he getting up? And I'm about to exit the door, and I still look over my shoulder.
Yeah.
And I walk out, and I'm just like hanging in the hall. And there's another camera, and I look up, and I'm like, "What? What do you want me to do?"
She just puts her phone away. She's just like, she can tell it's a lost cause.
Yeah. So the dinner hour comes to it. I mean, I don't know what you guys are gonna do. Ed's taken off to his room. Maya, you watch you get an understanding of the process, the procedure. Michael even tells you, he's like, "This is what usually done. This is how we do it." And da 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 da. It seems to work pretty effectively. And then you see like Ed being escorted to his room. They put him in his room. The door's locked. The orderly comes back. The third floor probably is the last one of the evening.
Mm-hmm. And no one seems to be in any kind of distress.
No, it's standard routine stuff. Chow hall time, bring, yep. It's very methodical. Boom, ba boom, ba boom. Nothing out of the usual. Nobody weird wandering the halls. Seems like everything. It's almost as if it's the end of a day.
Except for
Jerry.
Jerry.
Except for Jerry and
wandering.
Mantillo. Yeah.
Anybody carrying a book?
Nobody carrying a book that you
pizza in
notice.
his pocket.
No, other than Ed carrying his journal.
And no duffel bags or anything
No
like
duffel
that.
bags. Nothing.
Okay.
Nothing out of the usual. Michael's like pretty quiet.
Oh, the
evening.
duffel bag is with Mantillo right now.
Fair.
Okay.
With her.
Yeah.
I meant other duffel bags.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Well, I make my way back in, and I find Mantillo.
Okay. Yep.
Yeah, he didn't go for it.
Yeah. He didn't even recall giving me the original note. He got my note. He was confused by it.
Maybe he's just playing hard to get.
Or maybe he doesn't know what he's doing like everyone else in this place.
That's possible too. Yeah, it's possible that he's actually crazy.
Multiple
I'm almost getting to the point
personalities.
where it's possible we might have issues.
Oh, I have no doubt we have issues. I mean, we know you have issues.
And I like nudge the bag on the floor with my foot.
There's that too. Yeah.
Guy's still
All right.
carrying
Yeah.
that bag around, huh?
I think we're done.
Okay. You guys, Maya could stay in the security room for a little bit. Everything starts to come to a lull. People are starting to bed down, end of day, shift changes. Even the shift changes are very uneventful. Nurses coming in, going to their nursing station. The darkness starts to kind of settle in from the outside. Twilight, it's getting to be evening. Lights from outside are starting to kind of maybe make their way in through open windows and light up the areas in a different way. But
Is the as we found out previously, is like I forget what they call it, lights out or bedtime or whatever on the third floor, like 8:00, I think,
Yeah.
something like that.
Yep.
So Maya would probably wait until 8:30, and then she'd come back down to the meeting room. So she wants to see them all secured.
Yep.
And she sees that process that they described to us.
So they do walk
That's nothing.
through, right? Bed like
Yeah.
8:00. They go
They're checking.
door to door. They look inside, make sure the patient's all right. If there's people that need to be restrained in each room, they do that. Close the door, make sure it's locked. They, like chink chink or badge or whatever. Maybe it closes automatically, and then they pull it. Make sure it's locked.
And each of the 6 rooms that had the agents in them, no one comes or goes. Those doors all just stay closed.
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah, nobody comes or goes. The doors aren't open, but they, I think they would check them anyway, just out of habit. They're like,
Okay.
So,
all right.
Mantillo and Jerry, you guys end up down below in the lounge.
Yep.
Rendezvous with Maya.
Yeah.
So you guys are in the conference room, going over probably. It's not midnight. It's not 1:00. You might be still tired. You can go through some documents that the nurses have left. Maybe it's the welcome packages, whatever procedures, policies, probably some briefs on some of the patients that aren't overly confidential, or at least the doctor didn't feel it was confidential, and you could start reading over those. So you got, conference room, couple cots. You guys got your jackets off and the ties unloosened, collars are unloosened, hair's a little bit more disheveled, and you got papers all over the place, I would imagine. Am I picturing this correctly?
I think so.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Okay.
I think except that Mantillo probably is crashed out on the cot.
Okay.
I don't think she's reading papers.
Fair enough. All right. So
Maya's probably got a whiteboard to meeting room, so she's probably got all kinds of shit drawn up on the whiteboard.
yes, there is a whiteboard markers.
That put Mantillo to sleep.
Right? Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
She's tired though.
probably
Maya's
sitting
tired.
there contemplating, like kicking back, thinking maybe there's probably crushed cups of coffee in there and creamer,
Yep.
stuff of sugar everywhere and stuff. So, some time goes by, and each one of you hears, you seem to have fallen asleep somehow, either subconsciously or consciously fallen asleep. And you wake up to the sound of some clanging that appears to be coming outside of the room. And as you wake up,
I am up. Yeah.
as you wake
Up
up,
and on my feet.
yeah, you wake up, since Mantillo volunteers. You look around the room and you are in a bed. And you look around, there's a window in front of you. There's a bookshelf to the left and kind of a closet, armoire. And you have your arms to your side and there are straps. But what looks like they would be restraints are not buckled. And there's a glow coming in from the window, probably from a light outside of this room. And as you look to your left, there's a door that looks very similar to the doors that you've seen, that orderlies have passed and you've inspected and things of that nature. And you've got a set of slippers at the foot of your bed, and you're wearing kind of like pajamas of some kind, solid color. And Maya and Jerry, you experience the same thing in your own rooms.
That was my question. I'm in my own room when I wake up.
By yourself. Each one of you.
Yeah.
Check the slippers.
Your slippers are at the side of your bed.
The 2 left foot.
For Jerry, probably.
No, they're 2 sizes too small. They don't fit him. It's going to be annoying.
And we'll,
I feel like
we'll
I'm gonna
end right
Yeah,
there.
roll credits because
excellent.
way too
Fade
much.
to black.
This has been a Litterbox Studio production.